Hi, welcome to the Weekend Dish for Thursday, April 26th through Sunday, April 29th. I am your host, Hilary Morris, with the Weekend Dish, and I'm here with my girl, Kirsten, with
Hi.
foodie picks. Hey!
That's right. I'm
How are
excited.
you?
Episode 7.
Woohoo! We need to have like a little phrase for each episode. Last week was Super Six. What's
Yeah,
this? Seven's heaven.
that's right.
Whatever. I'm so corny. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. I'm just excited to be here again to talk
So you
about good eats in the area.
So you told me something very special today.
Yes, I'm very excited. I found out that Philadelphia Pretzel Factory is offering free pretzels today.
Ooh.
So one free pretzel per person, and you don't have to buy anything else. It's free, and we have two locations in the area. One is in Robbinsville and one in Lawrenceville.
Okay.
So, um, so
Yeah, you told me that this morning. I mentioned it to my husband because he
yeah,
takes the girls every Saturday where we live over in Montgomery. So he
yeah,
was excited. It's more
yeah.
his treat than theirs.
I know. I'm excited too. So they're real Philly soft pretzels, and they're hand twisted and baked fresh, and I'm sure they will have lines out their doors all
I'm
day
sure.
today.
Well, I
So
mean, they're so cheap anyway. What, it's like a
yeah,
dollar 50 for one?
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they
So,
add mustard like New York does.
I
oh,
know.
oh, they have a lot of toppings.
I love pretzels. Well, I
Yeah.
love food.
Yeah.
Pretzels are my weakness too, and I pass it down to my daughter, so it's definitely a hereditary trait.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll hear from you a little bit later with all of
Okay.
your picks for the weekend, and for anyone who's listening, just a reminder, we will have the printed version of this on Saturday, and you'll see a little bit more in depth, some extra restaurants that Kirsten that she doesn't get to mention today will
Right.
be in our written column on Saturday.
Great.
And I actually have a special guest today, and if you notice, I'm not in my house today. This is
Great.
although it would be really great if I had this as my kitchen, but we are actually at Mrs. G TV and Appliances, and I'm here with Judith Robinson, who is the manager of the Princeton Farmers Market, and she's actually going to be leading a free gardening workshop this Sunday at Mrs. G's for their second annual Farm to Grill event, which we'll go into in a little bit later. But we're going to chat with Judith
Great.
today a little bit about, we're not going to give away her gardening secrets. You have to come to the workshop for that. But we are going to talk a little bit about, farm fresh foods and supporting local farmers, and just a little bit. I have some questions from some Facebook friends about vegetables and gardening and so forth. So I'm excited to have you on the show.
I know.
Yeah. Judith is a wealth of knowledge, and I think if she has an arsenal is the wrong word, but that's the first thing that came to mind. But if you are looking to connect with a farm, anything local in the Mercer County area, that you're the first person I think of. So I'm looking forward to that. So, and Kirsten, feel free to, chime in, ask Judith some questions too. So
Okay.
I'm learning a lot from her as well. So,
Excellent.
um, so let's just jump in with our chat with Judith, and then after that, I'll go over a couple weekend picks, and Kirsten will come to you as well for the restaurants for the weekend. So Judith, if you can tell our listeners and viewers a little bit more about yourself and your role with the farmers market and your history with food and just the farm community and whatnot. So
Sure. Sure. Well, actually, I grew up in New York City, which is big organic garden from one end to the other. Yeah, but I was always surrounded by terrific food. My parents, loved eating was an occasion, so
hmm
we always sat down and really celebrated the fresh food that we were eating. So when I moved out of the city, I started with a small garden, and I had then two children, and I started to raise most of our food that we could eat year-round organically, and I taught organic food
Wow.
production and preservation. So I would do canning and freezing and all that kind of stuff. And I really fell in love with soils, which is really the basis of farming,
Right.
and what soils, the composition of soils. and the reason I talk about organic farming more than conventional farming, which what has become conventional farming, is that you're really getting the full amount of nutrients. Because if you feed soil, that food goes into the food that you eat. And so you're getting a much fuller array of micronutrients and actually all of the vitamins that you need. So that having that, I became more, going around meeting a lot of other farmers and people like that. And so finally, when I moved away and came back, we moved the farmers market down to the center of town, and
right in Princeton.
Right in Princeton, next to the public library.
Right.
And I have about 21 vendors, and it's all
I've been
food.
there. It's really nice, especially right in the middle of the week. It's a nice break.
It's Thursday from 11 till 4, and there are no crafts during the summertime. In the wintertime, we have it inside, and there are less farmers, so I take in some crafters. But the farmers, we have organic produce, we have organic fresh raw milk cheeses, we have all kinds of a wonderful array of stuff.
And some of them will be at the Farm to Grill
we'll
event?
have 6 vendors at Mrs. G's event on Sunday from 11 till 3, and we're going to have grilling of pasture-fed meat, which is very different than the stuff you usually get. It's a different quality, different taste, everything. So we're going to have that. We're going to have fresh vegetables. We're going to have honey, local honey.
Right.
And we're going to have a jam maker who makes all her jams out of vegetables and fruits from New Jersey. It's
I love
great.
it.
I think I've actually purchased, what's the name of the?
Jams by Kim.
Yes, I think I've actually purchased some, like a raspberry or a strawberry, because I did a tasting at the farm market, the Princeton farm market. And my girls were with me, and they love jelly, and who doesn't love jelly? So
yeah, and this is really fresh stuff. I mean, she actually does use the vegetables and fruits from New Jersey, because all of the vendors that we use have to have either products, if they're making something, they have to use the products or some products from Jersey farmers. Okay. So it's all local farming.
Well, that's a good way to support each other and keep it local and encourage other people to think the same way.
Well, it's our criteria of the market. We have a mission statement that guides the choices, and I vet all the farmers. I go to where they are located. I look at how they grow the stuff, and so it's all truthfully presented. Yeah. So the thing about supporting local farmers is that it's, first of all, you're getting food that hasn't been shipped thousands of miles and picked way before it's ripe, so that you're not getting a full taste-wise and nutrition-wise.
And that's the carbon footprint that's the buzzword that you hear, like with food that's shipped.
That's part of it,
right? Like when you hear people say reducing your carbon footprint, like in terms of even going green and that kind of thing, that's what it refers to, is to prevent that.
The amount of fuel that it takes to get that food from Chile or Mexico or even California all the way across to us here. So that is a big saving. Plus the local farmers, you can talk to them, how they're raising it, if they're using pesticides or herbicides and how they're approaching the soil. And also it creates a community. It helps all the other local businesses because they're buying from them, and then it's just a whole combination of working together, synergistically. So
no, that's a good way to put it. Well, I wanted to you a couple questions from my social networks,
right?
And because a lot of them are in the Princeton area. So when I posted that I was going to be speaking with Judith, I had a lot of likes and a lot of questions and comments, because I think I don't know if it's by nature of where you live that you are introduced to gardening and to thinking differently about the food you eat. I think it's the surroundings that encourage it. So I think by living here and having so many farm markets around us, and just having the access to naturally locally grown food, even in our restaurants, I think it encourages people to try to do it on their own. And I know for me, that's one goal that we have in our family, is to try and grow a vegetable garden. But I know other people had questions as well. So I actually one of my friends asked about kale. That's a big, and I know that I had found a recipe of using kale in a smoothie with fruit and yogurt, and I don't know, I haven't tried it yet.
So to me, kale is a wonderful vegetable, and it's a cool cool weather vegetable, which that's why you're getting it now.
Okay.
And the last month was kale month, or this, yeah. And so I actually, there's the cookbook being made by Edible Jersey, and I submitted a recipe that I had created about kale.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be in their cookbook.
Oh, cool.
So the uses, one thing about cooking, and I found, and I also teach workshops on how to develop healthy eating habits, is that you don't have to be complicated. It's a very simple procedure, because if you start with good ingredients and you have an idea of what goes with what, you can improvise constantly and come out really well.
That's what I tend to do anyway.
Yeah, so I
throw things together.
Yeah, I'm sure with kids and stuff.
Yeah.
I did too. That's how I used to cook. Or I cook now too for myself. But the uses of kale. Well, kale, to me, raw kale, I'm not so crazy about raw kale. I like it, cooked and with olive oil and garlic, and I use feta cheese on it. You can put a little soy sauce on it, and and also, do you know what miso is?
Yes.
Okay, well, I like brown miso. Mm-hmm. So to have a little moisture with the kale, you have the olive oil first, but you need a little moisture. I mix some brown miso with a little bit of water and put that in, so that serves as the steaming of kale. So kale is a great vegetable. It's just, learning how to work with it. And so it's very delicious, especially when it's bought very fresh,
right?
Like we have here with our farmers.
And I know I've seen recipes, and even someone posted that you can really just roast it with some Parmesan, olive oil, some salt, just bake it.
You can, yes, yeah, you can bake it or broil it, whatever you want, and put it on a flat pan, and put olive oil underneath it, and do that. I'm going to skip ahead because you said Brussels sprouts here.
Oh, yeah.
Because the same thing is roasting Brussels sprouts is really great. You can just cut them in half and put the same thing, bake them with a little garlic, which is always great, right? Mm-hmm. Garlic is fabulous for everything.
That brings so much flavor out of food.
Same with the Brussels sprout. People boil Brussels sprouts, and it's horrendous to do any vegetable. If you boil any vegetable, like peeling potatoes and putting peeled potatoes in water. Why? Because you're leaking not only taste, you're leaking a lot of nutrients into the water. And who drinks water that's you've either boiled Brussels sprouts or potatoes in? So you never, ever boil anything, corn included.
Oh, okay.
Never boil corn.
So what do you grill it, roast it?
No, steam it.
Steam it. Yeah, okay.
Get a little steamer, and put it in have a big pot, put the steamer, 1.5 inches of water, and steam the corn, and you'll find out that the sweetness is so much more retained. Okay,
because we love corn in our family. My girls, almost 4 and 1.5, love corn. I think they like doing that, like that.
Munch.
But I'll have to try that.
Oh, it just kills me when I see people boiling anything, any vegetable at all. So there's always another way, and usually steaming is the best way, the alternative. Not potatoes. I mean, if you boil potatoes, boil them with the skins on. Okay. Don't boil them with the skins off.
Okay. And I've heard that when you boil vegetables, that it takes all the nutrients out and it just pulls all its flavor. And
well, there are water-soluble nutrients, and those are the ones that are getting leached out.
Okay.
The water pulls them out, and so they dissolve in the water. That's water-soluble.
Yeah. There you have it. That's something new that I love steaming my vegetables, but I never knew about corn.
Yep.
So that's yeah. So I think that was my friend. That was Cece Fowler, I think, who posted about corn. And you asked about Brussels sprouts, didn't you?
I did, and I love them broiled, actually, as you mentioned, with the olive oil, salt and pepper. And I'm roasted. Roasted too is my favorite. Actually, that's how I enjoy most veggies. So.
Really yummy. And I got something the other day which I had never seen before. They were dried bits of tomatoes, little tiny ones. Oh, they're so delicious, and you can sprinkle those on top, and it brings out adds another little flavor to the Brussels sprouts or the kale or anything you're doing. I made toasted cheese sandwiches. I sprinkled them on top of the cheese, and they melted. They could sunk into the cheese. Delicious.
Yeah. And speaking of kind of the whole family of roasting the green vegetables, I love the name is escaping me. It'll come back to me for a second. Broccolini. It looks like it's a long stalk broccoli, and that I tend to cook that and asparagus the same way. I'll just lay it on a pan,
And what's
Do
that? Yeah.
the olive oil, Parmesan garlic, and just bake it in the oven.
Well, the asparagus is in season now, and you want to get it and really not even cover it with any cheeses and stuff, because it takes away. It is so pungent now, and that's something to steam. You just cut them in half, the thicker ends, and layer those on the bottom of the steamer, and then the ones with the little buds on it, because they're more delicate, put it on top. And then what I do is, if I don't eat all of it, I cut it up and use it in my salad the next day, and it's delicious. Oil and vinegar, olive oil and vinegar.
That's a good idea.
It's yummy. So you can use that with the thicker ends, with anything that you don't use. So
yeah, so we love asparagus. I have it in the kitchen to make for this week. So
great.
Yeah, it's delicious.
There's a couple of farms around here. Stoltz's farm over in Cranberry.
Yeah,
they have fresh picked asparagus and turkeys too.
Oh, I'll have to, because my husband usually when something's in season that we all love, he'll stop by, get it on his way home from work. So
they have it.
I'll let him know about the asparagus. Did not know that. Yeah. So right in our backyard, Stoltz Farm is great, and they're at a lot of the farm markets in the area.
They are, and you can buy from them. You can buy them directly from them too.
Yes.
Yeah, they stand, so it's just really nice. And they have an honor system too, which is amazing. You go by, because it's just one product, one vegetable they're selling. They have the old honor system, which is really what was here when I first moved here. Many farmers did it, and you pick it up and just put your money in.
Oh, okay.
Into the little cash.
Well, obviously they have a supportive. They've never had to change it.
Yes.
And that's nice. I think that's
really sweet.
People love their farm markets. And one last question, and my husband was asking this last night, is how do you protect your garden from critters? What are the rabbits, deer, dogs, cats?
Well, that's a big array. If you're really going to have a garden, I had a very tall fence around my garden. Okay. At least 6 feet, and you have to bury it at least a foot.
Okay.
You have to bury it a foot, because that's the guys who dig. They're going to dig down, and they'll either they'll meet the mesh, below, and they won't go any further.
Okay.
So you really have to do a deal if you're going to protect it from the
critters. All out.
You have to go all out.
If you're very serious.
In fact, I had a gate in the middle of it.
Oh my goodness.
And the deer found the gate and leapt over the gate.
Wow.
So I had to put I had to put branches across to prevent them from doing it.
Wow, that's
so
serious.
The only other thing is, if you have a small garden and it's just, I use dried blood.
Oh.
Dried blood.
I think I've heard that.
Yeah, because any herbivorous animal will come up, and if you put it about a foot away from the garden, sprinkle it all the way around, either dried blood or there's a combination, blood and camphor. But of course, it's going to lose its pungency, and after it rains, you'll have to do it again. And it's not cheap to buy. It's great for your soil because it has a lot of nitrogen.
Okay.
The blood does. Otherwise, we moved into these guys' land.
Yeah.
They were here before us.
That's
and
true.
since there are no rules around,
those humans.
It's just humans. There's not going to be a lot of predators to keep the balance. So you have to deal with it, one way or the other.
So where would you get the blood?
At a supply. You can get it at Rosedale Mills. Is one of the last people. There are not a lot of farm supply places anymore. Rosedale Mills in Pennington. They used to have a place in Princeton. I think Belmead Farmers Co-op still would sell it. I'm not sure. We can call them up.
Okay.
But you can look under farm supply, and it comes in bags, and it's dried cow's blood.
Okay.
Or whatever blood they put into it, not human blood, obviously.
So it wouldn't be the ordinary for someone to call up a farm supply or a farm market and say, I'm looking for dried blood for my garden, and that would be they would know what you need and what you're talking about, and that. Yeah,
I mean, it depends on whether they're just a lawn supply place, which they wouldn't.
Right.
But if it's a farm, more of a farm supply place, they'll know what you're talking about. Yes, it's just and there is a combination too of camphor. But you don't want to use mothballs straight. That's really not. They're too strong.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it does work, but you also have to use an awful lot. I mean, if a bunny comes up and he or she smells the camphor, they don't like it, but it's not a good idea to use it straight.
So what is in your garden right now? What's in season? What are you growing?
You use cold or cool weather crops. There are peas, spinach, lettuce, kale, and amaranth. There's other greens. All the greens are good in cool weather. And soon you'll be starting to plant the string beans and the next crop. And the thing about farming is, and even your own garden, you think in succession planting. So the lettuce is going to bolt as soon as it starts to get warm. So you want to plan, okay, what am I going to plant there next? Maybe carrots, maybe. So it's a planning process.
Is it okay to freeze your vegetables once they grow to last them?
Oh yeah, I teach freezing and canning. It's the best. I had, when my family, when kids were at home, I had 2 huge freezers. I had like 250 cans of food.
Oh my goodness.
So we would eat all winter long out of
Yeah.
that. So yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. It's
So,
just a process.
Do you know, I don't know if you know the statistic, but the number or the amount of money that a family could save by doing their own vegetable gardening? Do you know offhand, or is there like a percentage of their supermarket budget if they do their own gardening, how much they can save?
It's hard to tell you that because it depends on how large your garden is and how many people. And also, when you first start a garden, it's going to be a little more expensive because you have to invest in putting stuff in.
Right.
And you don't buy synthetic fertilizers, buy natural fertilizers and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit hard to say. Do you know what CSAs are?
Yes.
Okay. Well, CSAs are community supported agriculture for your,
Right.
if you don't know. And that means that you actually give the farmer money up front for the season. And then you go every week and you pick up what your allotment is. And it's all laid out, given to you, the amount before you start. So
Right.
Excuse me, you can buy a half share or full share. And it's in that way, it's really cheap.
Yeah.
There's, it comes usually to like $15 a week for a half a share, depending on which.
You get a lot out of that.
You get a lot of food.
I have friends who do that, and their fridge is stocked with.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way.
My friend did that.
Because they get up front, they're guaranteed up front. And the farmers work very hard.
Yes.
And they never willingly cheat you. A couple of years ago, there was a tomato virus that went through here and knocked out a lot of the tomato crop. But then the farmers try to make it up to you by giving you something else instead.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful way to do it. You can go online and find out the CSAs are available in your area.
Well, this is, I think we could talk to Judith for a long time, and I'm keeping an eye on our time, and we do have to move on, but if you want to see Judith and learn more in structure how to start a vegetable garden, please come down to Mrs. G's this weekend. It's on Sunday, April 29th, from 11 to 3 is the actual event, Farm to Grill. But Judith is giving her workshop at 1:30, and you can RSVP for that at mrsgs.com. You can either call them 609-882-1444, or you can send an email at info@mrsgs.com. And you can go to the website to get contact information and directions and so forth. It's www.mrsgs.com, mrsgs.com.
Just want to say one thing too. It's fun.
Yes.
The whole thing is the process of starting a garden is so much fun, and you get addicted to it because you go out and you say, oh, what's ripe today? And you pick it out of the ground, and you can eat it right there if you're doing organic.
Right.
Or take it in and wash it off. I mean, you just get hooked. That's how it happened to me.
Yeah.
So I ended up with this huge space, excuse me, and but it's so great to go out and get your hands in the dirt and really feel like
it's kind of
something.
a kid. I remember pulling the carrots out of my mom's garden, and
it's fun.
It's exciting. It's fun. So well, thank you
thanks.
so much. And we're gonna move on. I'm gonna throw it over to you, Kirsten, to give us a restaurant pick for out of your itinerary, your lineup. So
well, today I have 2 cafes to talk about, and the first one is City Streets Cafe in East Windsor. And what I like is, I like a chain restaurant like Fridays or Chili's from time to time. I mean, if they're in the area, they have, the menu, the food.
Right.
I really enjoy these neighborly establishments such as City Streets Cafe. So they're at 510 Route 130 South, East Windsor, New Jersey. Their phone number is 609-426-9400. And their website is citystreetscafe.com. And their hours, Monday and Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. to 12 a.m. Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. Thursday and Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. So they market their place as the hometown place to be. And in fact, Hilary and I discussed this show.
Yes, we did. It all started at City Street.
It all started at City Street. So
martini, and then I don't know. I had a martini.
I know.
And hummus.
A big thing of hummus. And
huge mound of hummus.
Yeah. So I love it. I've been there a few times even prior to that over the years. It used to be the Chowder Pot restaurant years ago. And they've got like all these windows, but it is a bar also, a bar atmosphere. And they've got like the high top tables, as Hilary knows, and then the bar and then other tables. But some of the things that they feature, I mean, they have really amazing burgers and salads and appetizers and stuff. But they have some really cool things throughout the week. Like Monday is Create a Pasta Night. Sunday is Prime Rib Night. So you just check their website, and they have it all listed there. But the prime rib is from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Roast prime rib of beef served with a baked potato and grilled asparagus. 10-ounce cut, $15.99, and 14-ounce cut, $19.99. And that includes your choice of Caesar salad or house salad. So I think that's just great. You know, if you're into prime rib, that's a nice place to go, a nice dinner.
Good party meals.
Yeah, and actually, let me just show you the. I'm going to put a picture up of what they look like, their entrance to the building. So I feel like I've gotten this down pat.
Yeah, you're doing well.
But
and they also have the live music and karaoke, right?
They have live music and karaoke. They have bar bingo throughout the week. They also offer breakfast. So, yeah, so when breakfast Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, with a martini.
I know.
With a mimosa.
Well, they do market it like that on their website. They're like, come out, you know, they have a breakfast risotto, which I think is kind of neat, and of course the omelets, Belgian waffles. So that's something that they offer that's different than an average diner, and.
So do they open, on what day do they serve breakfast?
It's Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not a lot of restaurants. It's usually they open for lunch and dinner, so that's nice.
Yeah. So they do that, and then they have late night happy hour on Thursdays from 10 p.m. to close, and so Thursdays they close at 2 a.m. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They have coupons online also, so, you know, really go back to their website and check them out, citystreetcafe.com. And one more thing, they offer specials in the bar area, like, every day. So $2.50 domestic drafts, hot dogs for $1.50, mini cheesesteak sandwich for $3.75. So all kinds of little bar food, fun, delicious things to eat. And one other thing is I wanted to show a picture of their food. This is a picture of one of their pork dishes. So they have entrees. They have the burger that I had there was really delicious.
They kind of have like diner portions. That's a lot of food.
Yeah. So the burgers are very tasty and juicy. They're around $8 to $9, and they're 8-ounce Angus burgers, what I had, and I had it with cheddar cheese. And it comes with fries or sweet potato fries, but there are times when I do try to be healthier and get a side of veggies. So I had the sauteed veggies that night, and they were really good. So I don't know. I have a review from Yelp that I read that I was looking at, and it says, as a resident of East Windsor, City Streets is my favorite local bistro to enjoy a light meal, cold beer, or a glass of wine. Its service is fast and friendly, and the cheeseburgers are fantastic. Casual atmosphere with a variety of entertainment options throughout the week that include karaoke, DJ, live bands, and trivia. So check out this little fun place in East Windsor.
Yeah, I like it there. It's cozy.
Yeah.
And it's always the times that we've been there. It's always been not packed, you know,
Right.
where like where bars you're like walking like, you know,
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder to people, but it's no, it's a good restaurant,
Yeah.
you know, and it's a fun place, especially after a long day at work. You can wind down with them. So.
Yeah, in fact, my dentist
Very
is on their
cool.
website. There's a picture of my
Well,
dentist.
let me hop back over here. I'm just going to share one more. What? Oh, your dentist is on their website?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good endorsement.
I know. I was like, that's Dr. Gold.
Good for your teeth.
So.
Hey, professionals supporting professionals.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Well, thank you.
All
All right. Well, I have one other. I'm just going to share one other event, just for the sake of time. And this one actually, when I found it, it struck a little. It kind of warmed my heart a little bit because I recently had to actually put my pet down. Lost my little kitty. I had her for 9 years, Bridie, and I had to let her go. And I would like to get another one sometime soon for my girls. I know they would love to have another little buddy, but I saw this event that's happening tomorrow night. It's at the Easel the Easel Animal Rescue League right in Trenton. They're having a casino night. This is a fundraiser benefit. It's at the Trenton Country Club, 201 Sullivan Way, West Trenton. Their phone number is 609-883-05. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a misprint in their phone number. Oh, no, it's not. Here we go. Let me say it again. Their phone number is 609-883-0540, and the event is from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And Easel, the Rescue League, this event benefits homeless, abused, and abandoned cats, dogs, and horses in Mercer County. And it's a dinner buffet, silent auction, dancing, blackjack, craps, poker, roulette. And it's actually for a benefit type event. It's priced reasonably because you always see events that are over $100, but this one is actually $75, and it includes $60 in playing chips.
Wow, that's great.
And it's business casual. So I'm going to let me pull up their website. So I know it's so. When I saw, it just warmed my heart because.
Oh.
So here's their website, and actually, on a calendar listing I found for them, their website was. It was missing a couple letters. It's actually www.easelnj.org/CMS. And if you just go to the site without the CMS, it'll give you an error, a loading error. So you have to do easelnj.org, or I'm sorry, easelnj.org/CMS, and it will take you to the site. And the casino night information is right there on the front page. And again, it's something that really touched my heart. And with benefit events, I feel like when you attend one, you want to have some sort of personal connection when you're supporting an organization. And I think the supporting animals that doesn't get a lot of play, doesn't get a lot of talk. And I think I really wanted to give a mention to this organization and to the event. And I actually think my cat came from I got her at like PetSmart, but I think she came from this organization because you get a little bio of your animal, and I think that's where they got her from. She was from the Easel Animal Rescue. So that again is that's tomorrow night, Friday, April 27th, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Trenton Country Club. So that's my And that's for me for the weekend picks. And we turn it back over to you, Kirsten. We have time for one more restaurant,
Okay.
and then we'll wrap it up for the day.
So I'm really excited about this restaurant. It's new to the area in Hamilton. It's called the Jersey Girl Cafe. And actually, my friend suggested I look into it and kind of try them out, and I really like them a lot. So they're Jersey Girl Cafe, 731 Route 33 in Hamilton, New Jersey, and their phone number is 609-838-9799. And the website is jerseygirlcafenj.com. They also have a Facebook page. And so their hours are Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And so the owner is Chef Kathleen Rana. And they market themselves as great food with attitude. And so they're in a strip mall right in Hamilton, next to the Hamilton Car Wash, right on the end. And I'll show you a picture of them. But they are very similar to a little cafe and like a Panera Bread or something like that.
Like their logo.
Yeah, it's cute, right?
Yeah.
So I went there and I tried. They have all different things. They have breakfasts. They have breakfast food. They have lunch food. They do just serve breakfast and lunch as of now. But you can contact them if you have something that you want to do in the evenings or an event or things like that. But so some of the food that they serve are, for like instance, their lunch. They have a turkey brie, berry mayonnaise on a panini. So they're all different kinds of cool items, not just the regular ham and cheese, although they do have, items like that as well. One of their breakfast items that I like is the Jersey Belly Buster, 2 eggs, American cheese, pork roll topped with hash browns, and that's $4.99. And then they also have a delicious assortment of a variety of soups, and some are vegan-based soups. But these soups are French onion, sweet potato, corn chowder, chicken tortilla, to name a few. So, when I walked in, it was a beautiful day, and they had the door open, and it was kind of breezy, and you walk up to the counter. They've got the menu on these, computer screens, actually, in the ceiling, kind of. It's neat. And then you order, and then once it's ready, you pick it up, and then you sit at your table. Delicious desserts, cookies, scones, and they have something called the Hamilton Square Bar.
Oh, you were telling me about this.
Yeah, it was delicious. So I did some research on them, and I saw this about the Hamilton Square Bar. So it's 4 layers of chocolate, peanut butter, and Rice Krispies. Let me show you a picture of this, okay? It's sinful, really.
Oh my goodness. That would be my breakfast, lunch, and afternoon snack.
Yeah.
All into one.
Just really delicious. And they're under $2. So I bought 2 of them.
Hey, you didn't save me one?
Yeah. No, I don't mess around with that. But yeah, so I really liked it in there. They're new. They're their own business. They also do something also called, I think it's Madeline's Table. So basically what it is it's an online food ordering site. So the chef creates all the meals, and then if you're like a working busy mom or someone that doesn't cook, you go onto their website, you place your order, and then either they can deliver it. If you're elderly and don't cook, they can deliver it for you, to my understanding, or you pick it up. And that's, I believe, on Clarksville Road. Okay. Yeah, if you go to their website and you can look on there, one of the items I thought was cool that they offer as like a full meal. And you can just, reheat these, or, they're in like freezer containers. You can heat them up at night, and that could be your dinner. Chili espresso flank steak, espresso powder, chili powder, cumin, and oregano season our spice rub for tender flank steak, which we grill to medium rare and slice thin. And I think that sounds great. I'm not as much of a chef as I am an eater. I love to eat the food, so I don't know. I just, Jersey Girl Cafe. They're actually having a grander opening, a grand opening this Saturday. It's April 28th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. All kinds of fun. Boomer from Trenton Thunder will be there. There'll be games. There'll be acoustic music, live acoustic music, and then signed copies of Jersey Girls, The Fierce and the Fabulous. So check them out. Show some support for the local businesses in the area.
I really love their name, and it reminds me there's a bagel store down in LBI I think it's Jersey Girl Bagel or something. So I'd seen their fan page popping up with some of my Facebook friends liking the page, and I love it. I mean, we're all Jersey girls, so it just kind of attracted me that way. And I'm actually looking on their fan page right now, and they have a good buzz going. I'm looking at pictures of cupcakes right now.
Yep. Sadie cake.
Can't go wrong with cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they have grilled cheese on their cover photo.
Yeah.
So
I actually tried.
Yeah, I'm excited. I would love to try them out sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, I had their caprese panini. So it was mozzarella with tomato. It was good. So, yeah.
That's good. Nice and simple. You don't have to go fancy.
Right.
It's nice and simple.
Oh, and
all right, well, great. And what's their website again, or where are they located?
So it's Jersey Girl Cafe NJ.com, and they also they have free Wi-Fi, which is like really cool, I think. So if you wanted to go there, do some work.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's Jersey Girl Cafe NJ.com. Try it out. Yeah. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks. Thanks again, Kirsten. I love all of your restaurant picks, and they're always very descriptive, and you have so much to say, either from your own experience or from your friends, and I love it. So, and for our readers and viewers, we'll have some more restaurants from Kirsten in our Saturday column, so look for that in the paper as well. And we are actually done for the morning. I'll save the rest of my events for the written column, and that comes out on Saturday. And if you would like your event considered for our show, again, go to thetrenTonian.com. In the Life section, there's the calendar. When you actually go to the website, you hover over Life, and the drop-down menu opens. Click Calendar, so you can submit your event for free, and hopefully it will be mentioned on the show. And because we have the column, I've kind of been saving Thursday, Friday events for the web show and more Saturday, Sunday events for the column. So that will give even more. I'm going to be looking for the Thursday, Friday things happening in town. And thanks again, Kirsten, and thank you, Judith, for joining us. And please do come and join her gardening workshop at Mrs. G's on Sunday, April 29th at 1:30 at Mrs. G's for their Farm to Grill event. The actual event itself is from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that will also be in the column as well, so you'll get details there. So are you going to go and get that pretzel?
I am going there. I'm definitely. I'm surprised I haven't been there yet.
Well, and also another tidbit, today is also Take Your Child to Work Day, so I'll have to go put my daughter in my desk at home and take a picture.
Exactly.
They already climb all over me anyway. It's, I might as well preserve it with a picture. Make it official. But actually, this day, Take Your Child to Work Day, was founded by a Stewart Country Day School alumna.
Oh, really? So, I think I was reading
really
that.
Cool local connection. So, their alumni are doing great things. So there's our local Princeton connection to a national holiday, if you will. So. Yeah. But thanks again. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today. And look for our column on Saturday in the Trentonian. And have a great weekend.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Happy eating.
Happy eating. Manja.
Manja.
Right?